So in reference to a moon in Capricorn, a full moon in Capricorn, and mastering a full moon in Capricorn, a person can say, oh, I just gotta make a sidetrack. There's no such thing as a Lion's Gate. It's not a such thing. It don't exist. It's completely made up shit that people say. It don't mean a damn thing. If a person telling you about a Lion's Gate, they done heard it from a liar and they believe what that liar was saying. It happens all the time, but trust me, no such thing as a Lion's Gate. And you could be doing a whole bunch of Lion's Gate shit, and then what? Did you get a pet lion? Did your cat roar? Like, what happened? Oh, you manifest some good stuff that was going to cover up your pain. So you got some more good stuff that's going to cover up your pain, and you thinking you succeeding. Well, you didn't succeed. You didn't succeed. The key to success is emotional stability. So full moons, always good to remember what type of energy you was in 2 weeks ago. The moon is going to be in sidereal Cancer, so we dealing with emotional energy. The moon is emotional energy. So of course the sun is in the third decan of Cancer, the last decan of Cancer. That decan is ruled by the moon. So our expression and our Cancer energy is more into like love or the outpouring of love. Opposed the moon conjunct Saturn and Capricorn, where we have emotional moon stability. Capricorn conjunct Saturn. Are you able to learn or get the wisdom how to become emotionally stable? Why is being emotionally stable an important thing in the world today? Because the world is completely fucking unstable. So since the world unstable, that means your ass got to be unstable too. Or if the world is unstable, shouldn't you become extra stable to kind of balance the energy out? Or do you look at the world and say, the world is fucked up, so am I? When it could be a whole switching of energy and a whole changing of the guard, but you would never know because you going down with the fucking shit. So I want to alert to y'all, this full moon is activating the T-square with the North Node and Uranus. So North Node is our future. Uranus is how we change. And it's also T-square in Mars, the planet of action. So we could be actual co-creators in this whole process of change and awakening in relation to our actions. So how does this look for me? To kind of bring, because I speak the astrology and it'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. So I got to keep it a little bit realer than just looking at the astrology. So how I looked at this, even before I studied the charts, because I've been driving all weekend, I had been just thinking about how the fuck hard that I'll be going with my videos, with my YouTube, with my Patreon, the documentaries that I want to do, the videos that I want to do, working extra hard on creating content and how I'm going to release content, how I'm going to attract more Patreon subscribers. Thinking about all of that. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm contemplating it, but that's one level. I got to actually put action to it. So as much as I've been thinking about doing videos this whole weekend, it's fucking 1:19 a.m. 1:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm only saying that because I'm just letting y'all know I was going to do this video to fucking night, regardless of anything. Like, it wasn't nothing on my mind. Like, shit, it's 1:20. And I know my videos is long, so I like this shit. I didn't even think about the time. The only thing that I'm thinking about is my destiny. And I ain't saying that my destiny is doing YouTube videos. It's definitely part of the whole, though. It's definitely part of the process. It's definitely part of the education and being self-taught. The YouTube videos are a part of the whole, but it's a lot of areas in my life, in my wife's life, in my family's life that we're not talking about fucking shit. We're just doing it. And maybe it's the alignment, maybe it's the time, maybe it's just random, but I'm just giving y'all much more of an elucidation of how I'm perceiving this astrology, these astrological aspects. So even deeper, let's talk about the sun in Cancer a little further. What is the sun in astrology? Why is it important? Why would we even talk about it? Well, the sun, why would we talk about the sun, right? The sun, not only does the sun give us life, it gives us light. The sun is super important and it gives us energy. Not the spiritual community's catchphrase word, energy, but real live energy, electromagnetic energy, electric magnetic energy that allows for all life and sub-life to exist on this earth. The sun is a big deal. Cancer is a constellation. So when we look at constellations, we look at constellations as being the tent to the light. So the sun is the light and the planet would be the tent that the sun shines through or Venus shines through. So the sun in Cancer is going to be the sun in Cancer is going to have a different energy than the sun in Leo or the sun in Virgo or the sun in Aries, because the tent of the constellation will change the energy inflection. This is why people are different, plants are different, animals are different, areas of the earth are different. Florida is different from Michigan. Ireland is different from Africa, because the electromagnetic energy hits the planet in different variations based upon where you're at on the planet. So back to the sun in Cancer, this is an energy of what I would call smart emotion or love. Now, smart emotion and love could be very much of a natural symbiotic process where you see a kid who just like tall for no reason, or you see somebody that's like naturally strong or naturally tall or naturally handsome. And the sun in Cancer is that, but we're scientists, we're astrologers, we study the stars, so we see a natural and spontaneous growth. We could take that same mentality and be intentional with it. That's the difference between being natural and spontaneous. We might not want to be tall. We might not want to be good looking. We may want to grow our business. We may want to grow our family. We just may want to understand life. This is the time to use this intentional energy to figure out how we're going to use it. All of this love energy, how is it benefiting you? It's like a fund of finances. Like, it's like we could look at life and say that everybody is against us, everybody is holding us back, but then we can drive. Why is it in every fucking city in the country there's a suburbs? Is there a suburb in your city and town? I don't even know where you live at, but I know it's a suburb. I know it's an area where it's people that's getting money and they ain't trying to deal with no hood shit. Why is the hood people struggling, talking about it ain't no money, but then it's people in the suburbs hustling, getting to it, going back and forth to work, going on vacations and trips? Is it that some people are unintentional when it comes to finances and prosperity, and it is other people that are intentional, that are not afraid to learn, not afraid to grow, not afraid to do the magic, not afraid to trust their soul? And another thing about the sun in Cancer, this outpouring of love energy, you might be a good looking girl or a good looking guy and take the out love and pouring energy and just get more good looks, but didn't do no financial work, didn't do no family work, didn't do no spiritual work. Y'all ever met somebody and all they talk about is manifesting a love or manifesting a business? And the ways for them to manifest that love or manifest the business is to work in the areas that they're struggling at, but they don't ever get the time or the space or the energy to find that time to deal with what they struggling with, because everybody is telling them how perfect that day life is. So they figure like something is wrong with them. So since something is wrong with you, you're not going to do the work. If you think you good, you won't grow. But if you see some shit that is fucked up in your life, now you ready to pour this outpouring and be intentional with the sun and Cancer energy. In one of my card reading videos, I talked about Cancer energy, and I said, man, Cancer energy is scary. Cancer is the crab. A crab ain't no cute, cuddly animal. Crab will claw your ass up. The ocean ain't no beautiful, wonderful place. It's goddamn sharks and more sharks and all types of predators in the goddamn ocean. You ain't about to survive in the ocean. The ocean gonna swallow you alive. The ocean is treacherous. So but we need, like, at the same time, the ocean is treacherous, but it's the same ocean that saved our ancestors, got our ancestors from point A to point B. Same ocean that provided our ancestors with crab, lobsters, and fish that we ate, and our ancestors ate that fish, and part of that reason is why we're here today. So the ocean is a great thing. It's a scary thing. It's a bad thing. It's a good thing. It is what it is. It's people that swim every fucking day, get on boats every fucking day, and the same whitewater rafting that they rafted in their whole lives be the same whitewater fucking rapid that kills them. The same place that you love and have fun and joy with be the same place that take you out. This is nature. This is God. So this is why we learn about love, we learn about religion, so we don't get wiped out so easy, believe it or not. But even tying it into seduction, the greatest seduction is when a woman can scare you half to death. I want to feel a little nervous, a little uncomfortable, a little uneasy. I don't know why, but it's something about being scared and then being eased into a safe environment that makes me feel like the seduction was more worthwhile. So life probably would give you negative things, not to scare you, not to throw you out. This would be my message from time in memoriam. Pain is here to help you. You shouldn't run from your pain. You should actually let your pain guide you and help you. Unfortunately, most people never experience what the fuck I'm talking about or even understand the level of conversation that I'm having because they're so deeply entrenched in running away from their pain. They so fixated and focused on having a good life that they're not able to identify the bad things in them that need to change to have that good life, to attract that good life, to seduce that good life, attract that good life. Your people will, and it's gonna be people that you like and love that don't give a fuck about nothing that you talking about because they do not want to deal with the truth. And then since they don't want to deal with the truth, they okay with being stagnant. They okay with living in darkness. They okay with it. The analogy that came to my mind is like this doorway. And right outside of the doorway, like inside of the doorway is bliss, happiness, joy, cocoa butter, bananas, coconuts, palm trees, blue oceans, Coke 45s, Black and Milds, weed, just all of the shit that a nigga need. Baby oil, baby lotion, just goddamn, what's that green, they got the green grease and the blue grease, just in case you need to do your hair, just everything that a nigga need. But right in front of that door is your fear and your pain. And you gotta go through that shit to get through that door. And most people do not want to deal with the fear and the pain that you have to go through to get to the other side. So they go everywhere else. And I'm telling you, once y'all realize this, because I've realized it and I just be listening to people, and people don't realize that they running from pain. They don't realize that their whole shit is running from pain. They need to get money, they need to move, they need to do this, they need to do that, because to face the pain is too unbearable. And if they successful, if you are successful, that just means that you'll continue to run away from your pain. That's the craziest shit of it all. I'm gonna take my time. She gonna get it's good sensual seduction energy. Shout out to Snoop Lion. So the sun will be in Ashleisha Nakshatra, and this is where I got the seduction from. Ashleisha represents the power of insight, intuition, the energy of the moon, strength of the serpent deity, is regarded as the substantial negativity. Substantial negativity would be the necessary evil, or the boogeyman and the gremlin that stands right in front of your bliss and your passion. I wish that y'all could hear me this evening. Like, I really wish y'all could hear me. Cause y'all will go every fucking where in the world, say every fucking thing, try to get the car, try to live a life, try to find a job. And I would just wish that y'all would just face y'all pain. Cause it would just save you so much time and energy and money. Y'all looking for the good thing. Y'all looking for the good thing. And y'all not finding it, and it's making you even more upset. But if you look for the pain, I'm sure you can find the pain. I'm sure you can find the pain, and when you find the pain, you'll find the power. And if you don't know, you can definitely learn. And if you are in a space of fearing the ocean, you can definitely learn how to swim or how to sail. This is human nature. I'm sure the first humans that seen the ocean was like, man, this shit's scary as hell. But it took a couple of people or a few people to build some damn boats, build some damn rafts. And I'm sure the first raft that they built was a piece of shit and it broke down and it wasn't the best raft, but they built another one. And once they built boats and rafts and shit, then they get to a point like, damn, we on the ocean, swimming, going from island to island. This is awesome. This is great. But I'm sure it was a lot of pain before they got to the point of building boats, being able to travel from continent to continent, island to island. So when we look at the darkness or the negativity that we're facing, especially this week, don't run from it. I would say no weeks. I would say no weeks ever. But, you know, can't win them all. The deity of the Ashleisha Nakshatra is the serpent. Now, you will hear the serpent in the Bible, in Hindu, Muslim, all religions, all mythology, Egyptians. But what does it mean, right? What does it actually mean? In this context, when we're talking about the Alisha Nakshatra, we're talking about sperm. We're talking about fertility. We're talking about living forever. And, you know, some women get into their 30s and be like, oh shit, I really want a family now. Dog, you be talking to a girl that's 23 and be like, girl, when you turn 30, you gonna be talking different. They be 20 like, I don't want no relationship. I don't never just see myself being in a relationship. And you be young and you ain't never even felt the hormones of wanting a family. So you be talking big shit. Then you get in your 30s and your 40s and that big shit talk be real. You humble yourself real fast. Saying it all to say, it's not about if you want kids or you don't want kids. Is much larger than that. It's about human existence and biological processes and learning how to live forever. This life that you live in ain't yours. You living for your fucking progeny. Only a selfish motherfucker say, well, this is the only life that I'm living. I'm the only person in it. How are you going to continue the legacy of your family if you don't have children? So when the serpent came and told Adam and Eve about having sex, he did that so they could live forever. You think about like history, they'll be talking about how, or like, I forget dude name, but it's some mythological and historical books talk about how human beings had many different forms before they came into this one. In this form, we was able to fuck freely. So everything in religion, everything in life is either trying to get you to fuck haphazardly or not fuck at all. So we can't even have real conversations about sex because people is not even mature to talk about the spiritual components and the necessity of sex for manifesting life. But y'all will have kids and be taking a fucking baby daddy to child support. Talking about hood, can I get a reading? Should I take my baby daddy to child support or not? Y'all see how crazy that sound? Or is it just me? It's probably just me. But I speak for the 1 or 2 people that might hear this message and understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Cause like I be sitting back blown away by this shit. For real. Like damn. Motherfuckers can create a whole legacy and a whole fucking generation of gods and want to take their baby daddy to goddamn child support. like people are so selfish and can only think about themselves that when you tap into the love energy that's being poured out, you would never understand how it worked. If you was thinking about the community and being the best person that you could be in the community, life would be a lot easier. But y'all been fed lies and y'all trying to do everything by yourself. And you got to kill that person. That person that think that everything is supposed to be done by itself, that motherfucker got to go. Snakes can shed their skin representing the death of a being and regenerate new skin underneath representing a regeneration or rebirth. They're associated with water or earth, Cancer, and Capricorn because most of the snakes either live in the water or under the earth. So when you like, I do all of these investigations and understandings, and then I look at my own life and make the connections. And then I share the message that things can happen to you and for you if you are, 1, mad enough, and 2, able to direct your energy towards that which you really want. If you nice about it, if you kind about it, if you open about it, then ain't no spirit not even gonna respond to that weak ass shit. Trying to be too nice and trying to be too pretty, and that ain't gonna get you nowhere. Especially if you got rage within you. if you got real rage inside of you and you don't express it, and you're not going to manifest that what you want to, like, you're being inauthentic. And so being inauthentic, you get an inauthentic type of energy. Partly because you don't want to hurt people and partly because you don't want to rock the boat, but life requires you to sometimes rock the boat. So speaking of rocking the boat, we have Sun in Cancer, opposed Moon, conjunct Saturn in Capricorn for this full moon. And the moon, like I said earlier, represents our emotional waves, twos and fros. Capricorn representing our stability. So moon, emotional stability. So when you hear a concept like emotional stability, this is what I do. I ask myself, well, why would I need to be emotionally stable? Well, I would have to be emotionally stable if the world is unstable. And the moon conjunct Saturn for a full moon, that means that there are lessons to be learned. And I'm looking at these lessons, I'm seeking out these lessons, and I'm learning these lessons because Saturn can discipline or Saturn could give you favorable experiences. So if you want a miracle, if you want something specific, learn the lesson to get it. Learn it righteously, learn it sincerely, apply what you've learned. T-square to Mars, North Node, Uranus. And this is going to be the beginning of a new world for you. If you want to sit back and complain that motherfuckers done you wrong and don't nobody like you and people use you and abuse you and did you da without learning the lessons, you're going to continue to manifest that which you've already been manifesting already. somebody had left a comment on one of my videos and they expected me to feel sorry for them, but I told them straight up, you creating that reality. I feel like my spiritual life ain't going nowhere. I'm fucked up. I'm doing bad. If you feel that way, then you gonna create that. And you can't fake it either. Like, well, okay, I feel good now. I'm still waiting for good things to happen. Still good things ain't happening. It's the moon conjunct Saturn square Mars. So just because you feeling it and just because you expressing it, you still gonna have to act it out. It's a very important quotient. When you have Mars in there, we could talk about all the spiritual shit till we turn blue in the face, where we're going to have some level of action associated with our emotional and our physical attributes. Imagine just a beautiful person just showing up and looking at you while you at work, just looking at you, and you're like, well, you want to fuck, you want to go out to dinner. They don't say nothing, they just look at you. That's just the full moon. You got your dream girl just looking at you. Now you got to have the planet of action, Uranus and North Node, to say, hey, let's do something. My address is 1551 Park Street. Come over. Like, you need some action associated with whatever it is that you want. And I say that to say, motherfuckers will sit and, like, me personally, I will sit and wish and hope for some shit that I could have just been did. Could have been took a class on Skillshare, learn how to learn how to do it, and it been done. But I'll be sitting hoping and wishing for some shit. So learning from Mars, learning from Uranus, learning from the North Node in this sidereal Taurus energy, if we are actively, like, we can process shit and we can contemplate shit for as long as it takes. Make sure that you have an action plan. So another thing about conscious people, we got a hard time, and it ain't our fault because we can't force a motherfucker to be our elder, but we can still be intentional about, so we can say the sun is in Cancer in the third decan. There's an outpouring of love and advice and support, but it's not just showing up at my doorstep. You could take this week to seek out advice from elders, from people that you respect, people that you love in the areas that you are struggling at. I would hope that spiritual people would get off their pedestal, get off their high horse, and identify the areas that they're struggling, identify the pain. I'm saying this because I really give a fuck about y'all, and I'm not trying to blow smoke up y'all asses and get y'all to a place where y'all not actually having any breakthroughs. If you want breakthroughs, heal your pain, face your pain, deal with your fears. Obliterate your fears. Make it that your fears is your catalyst. If you want breakthroughs, a lot of you want breakthroughs, but still want to look at your fears as the things as wisdom, as understanding. It's good that I'm not doing this thing because I don't actually need it anyway. You want to master this full moon? Ask yourself, do you lie to yourself? In what ways do you lie to yourself? Write down all the ways that you lie to yourself. And then if you can find a list of all the ways that you lie to yourself, try to figure out what's the truth that you're trying to cover up. What are you trying to cover up? And once you find that truth, then you can actually build and cultivate something that is within you truthfully. But you probably lying to yourself about a lot of shit. Find your weakness. have a sincere approach to wanting to learn. And like they say in all cliches and all previous motivational movies, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So that's real shit. But it's not going to happen naturally, spontaneously. As we said earlier, it comes from a place of being intentional. So the moon, emotions, Capricorn, stability. Emotional stability is the capacity to maintain one's emotional balance under stressful circumstances. You would never know if you had emotional stability if you never experienced stressful circumstances. And this is what I'm trying to communicate to you when you try to run from your pain, when you try to run from your stress, when you try to run from your confusion. Don't run from your confusion. Learn, remove your confusion. Don't run from your stress. Learn how to function and thrive in your stress so you can learn how to be more stable. An unstable person is generally the person that's showing up the most happy, showing up the most put together. Because when people show up put together, that's a defense mechanism. That's a coping mechanism. Because if you was to remove the layer of them not having their shit together, you know what's under there? Emotional instability, neuroticism, thinking negative all the fucking time. So they have to present a positive viewpoint of themselves, of life, because if you say negative shit, they feel like they're going to get kicked out of the building, kicked out of the club. They got to be perfect for y'all. They got to be rich for y'all at the expense of their emotional stability. Emotional stable persons tolerate minor stresses and strains of the day, living without becoming emotionally upset, anxious, nervous, tense, or angry. A person who is not emotionally stable, dealing with an emotional stable person, people think that I'm retarded. You ain't mad. You ain't upset. You ain't gonna fight. You ain't gonna retaliate. No. I'm gonna go deep within myself until I find that joy that I've been missing out on. And when I find it, the answers is always there. So in reference to a moon in Capricorn, a full moon in Capricorn, and mastering a full moon in Capricorn, a person can say, oh, I just gonna make a sidetrack. There's no such thing as a Lion's Gate. It's not a such thing. It don't exist. It's completely made up shit that people say. It don't mean a damn thing. If a person telling you about a Lion's Gate, they done heard it from a liar and they believe what that liar was saying. It happens all the time, but trust me, no such thing as a Lion's Gate. And you could be doing a whole bunch of Lion's Gate shit, and then what? Did you get a pet lion? Did your cat roar? Like, what happened? Oh, you manifest some good stuff that was going to cover up your pain. So you got some more good stuff that's going to cover up your pain, and you think you succeeded. Well, you didn't succeed. You didn't succeed. The key to success is emotional stability. Emotional stability is to maintain one's emotional balance under stressful circumstances. It's not to remove stressful circumstances out of your life. You can't probably even do that if you try to do it. So now we're just understanding how life works and then how we're going to navigate the waters, Sun and Cancer. And we're not going to be stressed out that we're on the ocean because we're actually on a destination. We actually have a destiny. And we're actually twerking on the boat, attracting that destiny every butt cheek, up and down flex.